go. Hello, we're live. Yay. Hold on, I have to know how to click things. There we go. Um, we're live. Hello, welcome to Not Quite Novelist. This is the show where new friends are made, literally, and new worlds are built live and on the spot each and every episode. And look, I'm actually caught up on the little doodles on the overlay this time, which is really cool. I actually remembered to finish that this week, and I didn't wait 3 weeks to have to draw a shit ton to add at the same time. Anyway, hi! My name is Savannah. If you don't know who I am, how the hell did you get here? If you do know who I am, then you know what I'm gonna say, which is, oh my god, I am so excited for this week's guest. Jojo,
Oh,
hi, how
hi.
are you?
Oh, hey, beautiful. How are you?
I'm so
Uh,
good. I'm so excited for this.
yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you outside. Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
nice,
Out,
nice.
outside of
Uh,
Castleton and outside
yeah,
of all the
outside the death throes that was Castleton.
yep. Which
The
we didn't actually ever interact on Castleton, did we? Our
I
characters never
know,
met.
no, no, we
Ugh.
never actually. Is there? Yeah, right. No, I had a. Yeah, yeah. No, they didn't. They didn't. I had. I was playing a very specific kind of game in
Mhm.
Castleton, and it was
You
keeping
were-
keeping those boys alive. Everyone else
yeah.
had Fox of Gods and stuff. I was team keep
Yeah.
the stupid boys alive,
Keep the
and
hero keep
I had time
yep.
for nothing else. Literally nothing else.
Keep Himbo
But you know
Nation
what?
alive for sure.
Yeah, but you know what I did do? Spoilers for Castleton. I final girled that shit. I have the last.
You really did. You really did. I will say,
So,
and I will stand by this forever. I've said it once, and I will say it a million times more. The only character in Castleton that if this were to be made into a Muppet version where everyone is Muppets and there's only one normal person playing a
mhm.
character, it was you. It was Shadius. It had to have been Shadius. I can't think of a single other character that would have been good for playing as a normal person, and everybody else is a Muppet. No, everybody is
I
a Muppet except for Shadius.
well, that's how it felt. Well, that's how it
It's
felt.
the
That was what I
only thing
played.
that made sense.
So
Yeah.
that 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 shit was so unhinged. I was playing a totally different game from the rest of the campaign.
It
Okay,
really was. It
I
was
was
so
playing
good.
anyway.
Hmm.
Anyway, so
It was worth it.
hi, yeah, I'm JoJo. We obviously share this liminal fictional trauma inside our brains together, and
Yeah.
wouldn't trade it.
Yeah.
Do I introduce myself?
Absolutely.
What's the format here? Do I
Um,
drop my credentials?
I usually do that at the end,
Oh,
so
okay. What do
we
we
can
do?
save
What's
that.
our format? What do we do here, Sav?
Oh, interesting. You think there are rails here? You think there's structure on Not Quite Novelist?
Okay.
Absolutely not. Although there is something that we can get started with. First off, hi Auten in the chat. That's my sister. Auten Feep. Actually, I will admit this because I think it's adorable. The Auten Feep username is based on something I used to say when I was a baby.
So cute.
Because because my sister's younger than me, and so but only by a year and a half, and so
Sure.
when we were little, baby, when she was a baby and I was a toddler, and she just would not go to sleep, I would go Aten sleep, and so that
Huh?
was it's I was just telling her to go to sleep, and that's the origin of Aten Feep. So I
I
think it's
like that.
adorable.
Cute. Well.
Yeah.
Hello, Autumn Feet.
Hello. Okay,
I
so
am also a younger sibling, the youngest sibling out of
oh
five, in
wow.
fact. Yeah. So what's up?
Still
Uh,
doesn't. Yeah, no, Austin is not wrong in chat. I do still do that to this day sometimes because she stays up till God knows how long, and will call me in the middle of the night, and so I will be I need to go to sleep, so I'll just say Aten, sweep, and then I'll hang up on her.
nice, nice.
That's how I tell her to go to bed, even as adults. Okay, so we can go ahead and get started. Since you were asking what the format is, this is the only part of the show that actually has any semblance of structure and any kind of rails for us to immediately go off of. That is, I
Uh
have
huh.
these two little teacups here. They are theme and tone, and they are both filled with a bunch of little slips of paper in here.
Oh, Okay. Whoa.
Um,
What?
and then what's gonna
What?
happen?
This is exciting. I didn't know there's gonna be cups, but there's also paper in the cups.
There's
Get
two cups
out.
and there's paper in the cups. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw one out of each. We're gonna get our theme, our tone, and then we're just gonna like do some world building. I'm already excited about what's about to happen. All
All
right.
right. Let's see. Let's cook. Let's cook.
Okay. Wait, that's not supposed to be in there. Hold on. It was the same one from last week, and I was like, we can't repeat it 2 weeks in a row. Can't do that. Interesting. Okay. All right. So give me just a second, and also, I am not gonna tell you what they are until I have them all typed up in here. So give me a second.
Okay. Okay.
This is my favorite part because you just get to live in suspense. Like you just get
I
to
do.
be,
Yeah. No.
yeah.
This is your favorite part. Oh, okay. Sick.
There's suspense. All right. Okay. So our theme and our tone for this episode is superheroes in the
Oh
circus.
shit.
Yeah. As soon as I saw circus, I
In
started laughing. I was like, I
in the
love this.
circus. In the circus.
We could do it in the circus. We could have
Is it
like the
what? But
people who are
is it in or and? What did you say?
uh either it could be either one. I just said
Oh, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
I
that's the thing.
understand.
So the way this kind of works is like our themes are going to be more like characters. So ones that we've had in the past are like aliens, we've had cowboys, we've had so it's going to be more like character focused kind of thing. We had punks at one point, which was really fun. Tone
Hmm.
is going to be either genre or setting. So it'll be like Western, circus, but I've also had like rom com, coming of age story, things like that. So for what we have right here is going to be superheroes or superpowered people, and the genre or setting that we have is the circus. So,
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay.
immediately my thought obviously is going to be like, okay, so like the people performing in the circus have some kind of like superpower. Like these are like, mutants or super powered
Some kind of
people.
super powered performers.
Yeah. Something like that. Super powered circus
Okay.
performers.
Okay. Let's chew on this a little bit. So
Yeah,
our
yeah,
themes are
yeah.
superheroes or superpowers.
Um, I typed superheroes. Let me see what the actual paper said because I may have written something that I didn't type. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I wrote down superpowers, so that's my bad. So I can.
Superpowers. Interesting. Aha. Listen
Yeah.
here, people. The devil's in the details.
I
Always
can't.
refer to physical artifacts. Okay. You got to double check
Yeah.
the words.
And
All
never
right.
trust Savannah's actual writing versus typing because
Bro, I'm the
you
worst
know?
about the word reading the words. Don't even like
Yep.
I'm playing Magic the Gathering this morning, and somebody was like straight up like, "You got to finish reading the rest of your card." I'm like, "Oh, you're right. My bad."
I've never actually. You know what? No, that happened to me a while ago. Last time, so in my home D&D game, um, I was using silvery barbs, and then like I forgot like a very key part of the actual spell, where it was like,
Hmm.
oh, I could have given someone advantage. That's my bad. Sorry, I forgot that was an
Oh yeah,
option that
yeah,
I
yeah,
had.
yeah.
Oops. All right,
Okay,
so I'm gonna
well,
switch
how
this.
about
Okay,
okay.
so now
So,
it is official on the screen. It does say super powers
well,
on the
well,
overlay. So
let's consider. Oh, okay, there's an overlay. Oh, okay, got it. Theme,
yes,
superpowers, tone, circus. So
yes.
let's start with what kind of superpowers would make for good circus. Personally,
Ooh,
I think somebody that could pull shit out of a hat. This guy's got to be there. Desperately,
yep,
we got to get the guy
yeah.
that pulls the bunny out of the hat.
A
That
magician.
necessary, but he's got
Yeah,
to pull. But it has to be pulled out of tiny spaces, right? It's because it's got to be like
yeah,
the hat magic. We'll call it hat
yeah.
magic.
Hat
Um.
magic. My first thought is like, because I'm thinking like Cirque du Soleil style stuff. So I'm like thinking like someone who
Hmm.
does like a trapeze thing, or maybe like a contortionist, but it's like someone who has like Elastigirl type powers and abilities and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of
All right. Okay.
like physical
So
feats. You could have like a strongman type, performer or something. I don't know a lot about various
okay.
circus acts, so I'm just gonna look up
Well,
types of circus acts.
I've been to one weird little carny circus thing one time, once or
Okay.
twice in my life. Um, they like to have like, this is obviously wildly like insensitive, but they'll have like freak of nature shows, and it's usually
Yeah.
somebody with like, some kind of genetic
Yeah.
mutation, they like Elephant Man, and he's got a bunch of boils on his face, like it's usually
Yeah.
something like that. So but there's usually, here's the thing though, is those are like weird. I think they're, as far as world building goes, a little house of like multi-layered horrors, right? That's where my mind's going. Like I imagine
Okay.
it's like behold the nefarious boggles, and it's like a person, that is perhaps, depending on the context or the tone of the circus, if this is
Mm.
a magic setting, perhaps something has happened to this person where they were once a patron and now they are Boggles, the elephantitis man,
Ooh.
um
Well, so that begs a really interesting question that I was thinking of is like what is the context of the circus in this world? So like is this a world where maybe it is just a normal human world, like our modern day world where like people don't think that magic and mutants and superheroes exist, but the
mhm.
people who are, I'm going to say mutants very much in the context like in the way that you would
Superheroes.
think of like X-Men mutants kind of thing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm my
In
brain immediately goes to like X-Men, but I'm thinking like
Okay.
this is a type of world. Is this a type of world where it's like, oh, normal, you know, people exist, but the people who have these like abilities and powers find their comfort in being performers in this circus and they pretend like it's, a
So like,
show versus it's a real.
whoa, in the beginning, I asked if it was superpowers or superheroes, and because the obvious answer to me is, if it was the Flying Graysons. We're talking about,
Mm,
Dick Grayson from Batman comic. I am immediately, that was the first
okay.
thing I thought of. The first thing
Okay.
that came to mind was, I was thinking of like the Flying Graysons
Love that.
when you pitched this. That was the first thought was, and then I was like,
Okay.
okay, which is why I asked the superpowers qualifier. Uh
Interesting. Yeah.
I think these things can and do and are capable of coexisting.
Yeah.
Um, in DC Comics verse, they're just called metahumans, but it's basically the same, right? They're just
Cool.
special humans.
Yeah.
Um, I think uh, it's American. I wish there was a better way. I guess it's the superhero genre, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but what's happening at the circus to warrant, are
Yeah.
these,
What about the performance at the circus is what is the draw? What is the hook that will get it to become a performance versus it being just people doing their thing, right? Like how do you sensationalize it basically for an audience?
is the circus stationary, or does it travel?
I always think about circuses as traveling. Um,
Okay.
I kind of did the same thing in the episode. So I did a stream episode with Diana the Rose.
Yeah.
So much fun. It's one of the only streams where I think it's the only stream where I actually made like a reel out of it, and I actually took the
Uh-huh.
time to edit a short because it was just a compilation of me saying two big tops ass to ass over and over again.
Okay, good, good,
And
good.
I will take every opportunity I can to bring that up because Big Top's ass to ass is so funny. I will make that a t-shirt. I will brand that as a Not Quite Novelist
I
t-shirt
I
someday.
I I support your
Uh,
goals. I do.
So good. But that was it was like space. It was aliens in a carnival. So carnival for me, oh my god. In chat, hashtag ass to ass. And so funny. So good. But
Uh,
yeah, that's great. But so but that was like aliens. So the reason they were two SS because the actual carnival itself was like a spaceship.
okay.
Um but that so for me
Okay.
carnival implies that there's more like rides and games and other things. For me a circus is like a performance. That's like a show.
Okay.
Um that's what's kind of going on in my head and I'm imagining circus to me always makes me think it's like some kind of traveling thing. It's some kind of like you hear people say like, "Oh, I'm going to, quit and run away and join the circus" kind of thing.
I've got I've I I've got a pitch.
Okay.
I've got a pitch, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
It's come to me, all right? Now, this I did the thought came before I you see this Jurassic Park jacket is the 30th anniversary Jurassic Park. It's sweet as hell. Don't worry about it. Universal, you can bill me, right? Like you can right, like it's Universal. You can compensate me for this, but that is
I
a
love it. Sponsored, not
uh
sponsored.
yeah, right. Like I love this jacket. I got it like
So
half
good.
off. I saw it like
Good.
I am 31. Okay. And so I wanted that jacket so bad when I saw it. I was like, that's for me. That's
I get
obviously
it.
for me. And
Yep,
it was unclear.
obviously.
But there is a point to that tangent, and the point is in Jurassic Park. Um, have you seen Jurassic Park? Let's start there. Have you seen the original
Yes.
number one?
Yes, I have
We're
seen it
going.
forever
Okay.
ago,
Okay.
but yes, I am familiar with Jurassic Park.
Okay, there is a point in the story after Jurassic Park has gone off the rails and they've
Mm-hmm.
lost control and they're trying to like restore power. And the old man, Professor Hammond, he's sitting in the kitchen and he's with Dr. Ellie Sattler, whoever that she's the blonde paleobotanist, I believe is what it is.
Okay.
But point is Professor Hammond or John Doctor I don't even remember. I don't think he is a professor. He's just an old guy with money. I don't think he is a
Yeah,
professor. Actually,
he's the
I think he's just
producer. He's the
I
guy with
think he
the
just has money. But
I
there's
don't
a
remember. I gotta
he, but
rewatch the
but
movie.
he is a life. They make a point in the lore to be like he's a lifelong, almost kind of like a lifelong showman. And he talks about earlier in his youth I think it was one of the first attraction he built was a flea circus. And kids would come and they would be like,
Yeah.
"Mommy, can't you see the fleas? Look at the fleas dancing and jumping." And then Dr. Ellie Sattler said it was all a light show. I think is what I'm led to believe
Mm,
that it wasn't real. That it was a
yeah.
flea circus, but it was an illusion, right? There was
Mhm.
no fleas. And Dr. Ellie Sattler says, she's like,
Interesting.
don't you see it's the same? It's all an illusion. You never had control. Um,
Oh.
it's a very interesting point. And I think that could be the setup for Superpower Circus is that it's all an illusion.
Oh.
What do
Okay.
you think? What do you think of that?
So
What do you
so
think
it's
of them apples?
so it's a situation where it's like there's not actually they don't actually have like superpower kind of things. It is just like smoke and mirrors kind of thing. It's all like illusory work basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Illusory
but
illusionary circus. I like the name
I'm
of that.
thinking that that is the superpower, right? Like there is
Oh.
a superpowered showrunner who's
Yeah.
running all illusions, but there is in fact perhaps no strongman or
Yeah.
bobbles. It's so like to what end is this illusory circus for what
Oh.
purpose? Are their targets? How what do you think? What do you are
Interesting.
I'm cooking, chef. I'm cooking.
Yeah. See, what's interesting to this is like there's two movies now that come to mind that kind of like merge in my head as you're kind of describing this. Is like one is The Greatest Showman because obviously that one's like the musical that's
I
about
haven't.
P.T. Barnum. It's a musical that is about P.T. Barnum. It's about like the creation of the circus, right?
Okay.
Um there was a lot of like you know chit chat about it being like because the actual like P.T. Barnum was like not the best guy, and like the actual story is kind of more exploitative, whatever. Doesn't fucking
Uh-huh.
matter. It's a musical. It's a great show. Please go watch it. I love this music. I love this movie so fucking much. But
Okay.
it's because it is about so Hugh Jackman plays P.T. Barnum, and
Okay.
he basically essentially like gathers all these people that are like the outcasts and the exiles from like society, like a bearded lady. The actress who plays the bearded lady is one of my favorite Broadway actresses of all time. Her voice is next out of this world. It's next level. But there's also like a trapeze artist who's played by like Zendaya, and there's all sorts of different people, right? But they're definitely like the people who are like the outcasts of the world, and he gathers them, and he
Hmm.
sensationalizes this story, this these people as performers, and
Okay.
but he does it in this very like sensationalized way, and because he is at his core a showman, and so he was the one who is able to like curate and create these people as so much more like larger than life than they actually are, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
he's able to like
Yeah.
promote them in this way. The other movie I'm thinking of that kind of like mixes with this is, it's an old movie. I grew up with it. I'm obsessed with it. Austin in chat will know exactly what I'm talking about. Is Big Fish. Because Big Fish is essentially about this story of this man whose father has always told these like fantastical stories about meeting a giant man, or meeting like a siren, and going through all these like fantastical journeys basically. And essentially by the end of the movie, it's revealed, sorry, spoilers for Big Fish when it came out fucking 20 years
Okay.
ago or whenever, right? But it's one of my favorites, and it basically it ends with all of his stories did have some element of truth to it. Now, granted, the giant that he met was not 12 feet tall. He was maybe like 6 or 7, but like that's still like he was very, very tall. He
Okay.
basically like
Okay.
he would tell these beautiful stories about his experiences in the most like fantastical way that he could, and he brought these things to life. And so I love this idea of this like illusory showman kind of guy, like taking these things that are generally mundane or not as fantastical and sensationalized as they are, but blowing them up to where at some point they are exactly as larger than life as he makes them out to be. So I love this
Uh,
idea of this
I kind of
story of this like
okay. I'm
showman
with
kind of
it.
guy. Yeah, you see what I'm going for?
Okay.
So
I see. We're gonna rock with. I like the.
yeah.
Let's do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I love the idea of like, yeah, no, everybody in the actual circus maybe don't have superpowers. Like maybe there is like a trapeze artist, but this
Mhm.
illusory man is able to make it look like she's literally flying. Like his illusion that he's able to create for the audience is that maybe the like ropes that they're like swinging by like disappear, so it makes it look like the trapeze artist is literally flying, or things like
Yeah.
that, little like illusory things. A refuge for low powered supers, and illusory
I love that.
enhancing them. Yes,
I love
okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I kind
yeah.
of love that. It's one of those
Mm-hmm.
things that like maybe there is kind of like a show conductor, like a the ring is it called
A
the
ringleader.
ringleader?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ringleader.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, and then it's like maybe they aren't in this world. Those abilities aren't so fearsome, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so perhaps you have some pronounced canines, and then it's like,
Oh, like the saber-toothed
but
man or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we're gonna jazz this up now, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like. This is a fully a werewolf or a saber-toothed man or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah,
like you
yeah.
you can. So
Mm-hmm.
like I okay,
Yeah.
okay. But
I
so
love
the
this idea of like if it is like the low powered superhero people, like maybe they do have some level of power, but they're not like, they can't like control the weather, but maybe they can like, you know, make a little bit of water like come out of their hand, or maybe they like
I
they can't like shoot like massive
um
fireballs, but they can have like hold a flame on their finger or something. But
a
the
couple of months
ringleader,
ago,
yeah, go ahead.
short a couple of months ago, shortly after Castleton, or I think,
Hmm.
I started rewatching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for the first time in like 10 years or something.
I've never
And
watched it.
okay, I'm gonna
Okay,
get I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
impart you some knowledge. All right, so
Please
in
hit me up.
there they have some concepts of chimeras.
Mm.
Do you know chimeras in folklore, fiction, mythology? They're
Yes, yeah.
spliced together creatures, right? Um, how about in Full Metal Alchemist? They do the same thing. They try to take animal parts and like splice them together.
Yeah.
And they try to do it later on with humans to like see if you can give
Mm.
humans some animal like qualities and traits, so they can turn have a
I've uh,
gorilla strength
yeah.
and so on.
I've seen some pretty rough emotionally memes about this, about like
Have you
so
seen dog memes?
I was gonna say, isn't there like some really fucked up shit
Yeah,
with a dog
yeah,
that happens?
yeah,
Like I've seen the
yeah,
memes. I don't
yeah.
know the I can guess based on context of the memes what happened, but it's like
It's so
I
fucked.
don't know if I'm ready to
It's so
I
I'll
love that is
say it right into the camera. 10 years later, still fucked up. I'm still fucked up a second time.
I get it. There's so many movies and shows like that where I'm just like, this was a thing in my childhood, and guess what? It's still traumatizing in my
Yeah, it
30s than
turns
it
out
is in my
it yeah
like
it turns out I'm still traumatized.
yeah. I have not seen. Okay, so like we are gonna tangent for just a hot second
Okay,
because
all right,
that's
let's
what we
do it.
do here.
We're
Um,
gonna hang on, hold on to our seats.
I haven't seen Neverending Story in like over 20 years because I saw it once when I was a kid,
Okay.
and the scene with the horse fucked me up so bad that I'm like, I'm not seeing it again. I'm not watching this movie again.
I've never seen that shit. I've
Oh,
never
it's
seen
so
Neverending Story.
good. Hold on, I gotta ban some shit happening
Blast
in
them.
chat real quick. Get
Blast
out
them.
of here. Get out of here. All right,
Oh,
cool.
hey, Renegade.
Hi Renegade. Okay, we do have people in chat here chilling. Hi, hi Renegade. Hi Werewolf Doctor. Yeah. So we're talking about a circus with superpowers, superhero. Um, Werewolf brought something up, which I thought was cool, which was have a power but not enough of one to have a comic book, like to have their own comic book.
Okay.
Um, Going back to the idea of X-Men, the concept that I think is cool is like hearing. Yeah, only saw it once. Yeah, no, I saw it once when I was like, 6 or 7, and never again. It hurt my feelings too much. But no, okay, so going back to kind of keep us back on track is
Okay.
like,
Okay.
um,
Let's try.
going back. We'll try. Going back to the idea of like X-Men, I like the idea of this particular like circus being almost like I don't know how to word this. I'm gonna word this in like weird D&D terms, so
Okay.
maybe you'll
I'm
understand
ready.
like what
Hit
I'm
me. Let's
thinking.
do
Is
this.
like
Let's do this.
this is the bard version of uh Professor X's school for
Yeah.
mutant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is the
Yeah.
bard version of that. Like this is the performance. Like, oh, you have this
Yeah.
weird thing about you that's like, yeah, maybe you can like snap and you get a little flame on your finger, and it's just enough to like, it's kind of like the cantrip version of like casting. It's like
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
can do like a druid craft where you can light a little tiny flame on your finger, where
Yeah.
this particular like maybe higher level, I'm just still keeping it in like D&D terms, this like higher level guy who's like the ringleader comes in and is like, oh, you can do that, well, let's go ahead and say that you are the like the fire wielder or something, and we'll make this like a big show. And what he does is his power is enhancement. His power is enhancement, whether
Oh.
it's like illusionary or whatever. So like when this guy who literally is like just has the power equivalent of like a wireless Zippo lighter, basically, like he does, all he has
Yeah.
to do is
Yeah.
snap his fingers.
You
What the
want like
ringleader
you
does is he comes in like kind of in the background, and he's able to use his power to like make it look like he's shooting a fireball out of his hand.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like so. The question becomes for the ringleader: is it illusory and it just makes it look that way, or
Mm,
is he actually amplifying them? Is he
yeah.
an amplifier for them?
So this is where an interesting question. Now, this is one of the things that I like to ask in this because whenever we're doing like world building on these streams, my thing is very yeah. If X-Men are throwing level 2 to 9 spells, they're throwing cantrips is a good analogy. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm
So like the performers are doing cantrips, whereas the um the ringleader is doing these more like bigger things to try and enhance it. So to answer your question, Jojo, something that I always like to ask is like, okay, if this was a, let's say this was a game, or if this was a story that we
Okay.
were trying to tell, like an audio drama or a show that we were trying to produce or whatever. If we were both in this, who would you play? Who's your character? Would you want to play the ringleader, or do you want to play like one of the performers? And then we'll start doing some character building while we build the world as well.
Hmm.
Because, like, let's be real, Savannah has a type. I know what kind of character I would want to play. Um,
Okay. Well, why don't you go first so I can have
that's
an example?
that's the thing. Is like, all right, okay. Does Savannah? Do I want to go off script and go like play against type because I've been doing this since February, and I still like I am aware that I play a very specific type of character in a lot of
Well, what
things.
is it? Well, what is
My
it,
my
man?
type is always I love doing like the princess type. I mean, Fallon, that's Savannah's type. Like if you know
Oh,
Savannah,
okay.
yeah,
Some
it's
some
the
some whimsy
like
princess fairy
yeah,
stuff.
very fairy, very like oh I'm so cute that no one would want to hurt me. Very like I'm small and
Yeah.
adorable kind of character, but also like I mean I like to play someone who is will fuck a bitch up and like has like an attitude, right? But very much like almost nepo baby, like kind of like is like an heiress type character, heiress
Uh-huh.
princess who like doesn't want to be part squishy, if you will. Yeah, yeah, Austin, you don't know okay. She doesn't play TTRPGs at all, but she
Mhm.
knows that my characters are all squishy. I like to
I mean,
play the
yeah.
squishy cute ones.
So how would squishy cute factor into this setting?
Mm.
Or is
So,
like how
I've been bringing up like a trapeze artist. So if I were to play, let's say if my character, if I wanted to play one of the performers, as opposed to like, let's say if you wanted to play like the ringleader, so that you would have more control over like what this person does. If I wanted to play one of the performers, I would want to be like a trapeze artist.
okay.
Um, Maybe someone whose abilities were more like if we're thinking like cantrip level stuff, like things like making like bursts of wind to help her like stay afloat, or doing like little levitation things, but the enhancement or the illusion is like making it look like she's flying. Things like that. I like the idea of playing someone either that or would be I really like doing a lot of things with like fire. Um,
Mhm.
so maybe like someone who's like the like a fire dancer or something, like someone who does like like the fire, like she like swallows the thing that's like on fire, things like that. Or as like a dancer dances with like the hula hoop that's like has all the different like things lit on fire around it. Have you seen those? Because I watch a lot of those kind of
Yes.
performances, and they're
Yeah, yeah.
so cool.
I do. I do have.
Yeah, yeah.
I think like I've seen like the hula hoop dances, but I liked like the poi balls where they have like them on like a
Mm.
stick, and it's like awesome.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. So
It's
like
awesome.
so the two directions that I would go in terms of what my character's act would be in the show, it would either be like the fire dancer type of character, or it would be like a trapeze artist. Which I'm pretty sure, actually thinking about it now, I'm pretty sure the very first episode of Not Quite Novelists, I made a fire dancer in the circus kind of character. So I'm gonna reel that back. I'm gonna go trapeze artist for that.
Okay, okay, all right. I have
Yeah.
mine.
All
I
right.
don't think I think I would like the ringleaders to have like some kind of intrigue or mystery about them. So
Mm.
I wouldn't really want to play them necessarily.
So we would, if this
Um
was a game, we would let like the DM play the ringleader, whereas we would be like, if we were players, we would
yeah,
be the performers. I like this.
yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
And I feel like in the vein of scaling that we're using, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um I think I would try like knife throwing. I think like a knife throwing
Yes.
gimmick.
Yeah.
But on the concept of like the cantrip is like true strike, like like the
Oh,
like
it was like
the curt
you hit the target every time, kind of thing.
to
I
like a trick shot. But
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
maybe the amplification
Mm.
or the illusion is throwing five of them. It's
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I think that could narratively be very cool. And then it's
I
like
think
you're like
like see now I'm.
unsure if it's is it the ringleader that's doing it? Is it
Mm-hmm.
me? Can I do it in a pinch without the ring? Then I don't know. I think there could be some
That
drama, right?
I was gonna say that creates a really interesting character arc for you of like creating like some kind of hubris within you too of like, are you gonna get a little too cocky? Like, do you think
Is
you
it
can actually
me?
do
Is
it?
it him? Is
Yeah.
it yeah?
Oh, I
I
like
also
that.
like this. It's
Yeah.
also um uh uh the
Yeah.
I learned
Werewolf has it
I
right.
learned that
And
I learned
NPC
that
ringleader gives some more interesting narrative possibilities. Yeah, having the
I
ringleader
think
be
so.
played
I think
by
so.
like a GM or something would, yeah,
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
definitely.
I love it.
I I learned hold on. I got to double check my memory here.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't remember this thought. This is an incomplete thought. But
Okay.
as I was saying that, I was like, who does that remind me of? And for a second, I thought of like Bullseye from Daredevil. I'm like, no, that's not quite right. I thought of Diego from Umbrella Academy. But I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. But I'm pretty sure that the knife throwing is not actually his gimmick in the comics. I'm pretty sure he has a different power in the comics, but I don't remember if someone
I
wants to Google it. I think
I actually
it's
have
actually
the
something
first.
strange.
I think I have like the first copy of Umbrella Academy somewhere, but I'm pretty sure
Hold
it's
on.
still in the plastic. Let me go see if I have it. 1 second.
Okay. All right. You go check that. I'm gonna Google Diego's superpower. That's
Yep.
the content you're here for, right?
Yep. Absolutely. Hey, I have. Here's the thing.
No. Okay.
But
His power is trajectory manipulation. I guess. I guess
oh,
that's
so
really
he
it.
like can control like where it lands. I do have it. It is still in the plastic. I've never opened this. I got it when I
What?
was like 17.
You've never opened it? It's just
No.
chilling in there. That's
I
so awesome,
I,
dude. That's
I
pretty
love
cool.
it.
That's kind of whoa, dude. That's kind of amazing. What the fuck? That's
We got it
awesome.
from
What do
my
you mean?
dad. Well,
What do you mean?
my dad bought it for me when I was like I think he got it for me when I was like a senior in high school in a comic book store. Apparently, he got it for $1.25. Um,
Nice.
but
That's
it's
pretty
still in the
awesome.
plastic. I so not My Chemical Romance is my favorite band.
Oh,
So
cool. Nice.
I have a lot of Gerard Way comics.
Hell yeah. Good for you.
Specifically,
Live
the
your best
Killjoys are
life.
my favorite. The Killjoy universe is one of my favorites, but I also have the Umbrella Academy. And now that I know it's still in the plastic, I kind of don't want to open it again. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I want to keep
Leave,
that.
leave. Yeah, keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Yeah,
All right.
keep it in there.
So
Anyway,
what?
so
So
back to this. But yeah, so like trajectory manipulation is cool. See, now what I'm imagining too is like if he does like trick shots, I'm imagining just to give us some like character like interaction moments. Maybe my
yeah,
character like also acts as like a you know the wheel that you can like put a person on and like okay
yeah,
blindfold the knife thrower and it like adds this level of like danger and fear to it and
yeah,
they're just
yeah.
throwing the knife. I feel like my character because
What
when I'm not
you're
doing
the
I'm the
the
one
first
like strapped up to
one.
the wheel. I'm the
Okay.
lovely assistant to a lot of
Wow.
characters and I'm not doing my trapeze act.
That
Yeah.
yeah. I love that.
Again,
I
I am
think
playing just the cute, sweet girl who acts like I play a lot
who
of like the characters that I call like the bait characters. You know what I mean? Like the ones that like get sent out to like be like bait, act as if like they are like a decoy or someone sent to like distract an enemy, that kind of character.
Can can
I
I?
play a lot of bards, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Speaking of, can I say something that like I'm not sure it ever came out in chat about Castleton about bait really quick.
Mm.
Did I ever tell you how Shadius was named?
You did, and it hurt my
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah, I did. So for those in chat who are of Castleton or were fans,
I
I
think you
named
told me this
Shadius.
at PAX last year. I was
Yeah,
very upset.
I actually named Shadius Shoal, Shoal being a school of fish that they circle around in protection, but I named him Shadius, which was a play on shad, like the bait fish. If you Google shad bait fish, it's the little plasticies that you can plastic baits that you can use, but they're shads. They're little bait fish, and so I had always intended for him to be the bait fish for the princes.
It was hurtful when I heard this.
Yeah, it was so.
Gearstrath.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your name first off? I want to know how to pronounce your username. Um, but also I did notice that you followed me a couple days ago. Thank you for that. Um, Definitely gonna have to check out Castleton soon. Do it. I think on YouTube it's still only the first like 3 episodes that are out on YouTube at the moment. Um,
But on
yeah.
Wintertail's Twitch, they have them set as highlights if you're a subscriber, and you can check out the highlights.
Is it all of them? Is it all the episodes?
I'm
I haven't looked
la-
recently.
I haven't looked in a couple since we closed, but it was up for a few months. I would check out the highlights portion on Wintertail's channel because last I checked they were still up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so in that case, go watch them. I mean, literally, even just the first 3 episodes, though, is like, that's a lot of. It'll keep you busy. It's a lot of content. I think the first part, each episode is about like 5 hours long, and then they go into like 6, 7, 8-ish, and that's not including the flashback Fridays. So there's
It's crazy.
of content to keep you busy.
There is
Yeah.
in fact like 60 hours of content or some crazy. Anyway,
it's insane, unbelievable,
it was
and still more that like never got shown too. Like I remember certain scenes that I
so
recorded
much.
that like I never saw
Yeah,
come out.
there was
It
a
was
ton
great.
of scenes,
Yeah.
that never made it, but
Yeah.
not yet. Anyway, not yet. You never know.
Yeah. Yep. Gerstrath, or just Chud. Okay, Chud. I'll remember that. Thank you. I always like if I see a username of like a new follower or a new person in chat, I'm like, tell me how to say your name or how you want me to refer to you, so that like we can be friends, please. Cause I love this. Because I'm already at like 113 followers. I'm like, they are all my friends. I need them all
Nice.
to be my besties. Yeah.
Nice. Good.
Every new follow. Chud was in chat during Aurora's stream a couple days ago.
Oh.
Where Aurora was just straight up just started plugging my content, which I thought was so sweet.
Yeah, Aurora is very sweet.
Something
she's
that
nice.
Aurora did clip it. It is real. Every new follow and every new subscription does get me closer to a promise that I made when I first became a Twitch affiliate. I was doing a stream with Sam.
Okay.
where I made a promise as a joke, but now it's clipped and there's proof on the internet that it exists, that if I get to 5,000 followers and 500 subscribers, then me and Sam are going to do a hot tub stream.
What? What?
Okay, so like,
what?
I have to give this context.
What?
So like, I was talking about, because I had just made Twitch affiliate. I was really excited, and I made the goal where I said, okay, if I get 5 subscribers, then I'm gonna commission an artist friend to make me channel emotes. By the way, I do have the channel emotes out. I just haven't uploaded them to Twitch yet. I just need to actually download. They're on my computer. I just haven't put them in. But I made that goal. I doubled that goal in like 5 minutes because Promethean came in and donated 5 subs, and then like 6 more people also subbed. It was great. Nice. I like almost cried. I like ran off camera.
This is good news.
It was a
What's
party. It was a really fun time. However, I said something about something to the effect of, "Oh, I'm gonna have to come up with like new goals or new something now because you guys just like hit that goal out of the park." And my housemate, the person I live with, put in
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
hot tub stream, and I was like, okay. And I made the joke that if people will either get Sam or myself to 5,000 followers, 500 subscribers, then we'll do a hot tub stream. The
Bro, the
funniest part
internet is
about this
forever.
is we don't have a hot tub. Like, my
Yeah.
housemate told me that, and I'm like, are you just gonna take my rent money and go buy a hot tub with it? What's happening
Yeah,
right now? Yeah.
you're gonna have to buy one of those shitty inflatable hot tubs, obviously. You're
Obviously.
obviously gonna.
Or, here's the thing, if you do it before Gen Con, then we'll just do one at Gen Con. Because then we'll be, like, together, because Sam and I are going to hang out at Gen Con together.
I
So-
think this circus should have shitty inflatable hot tubs.
Oh my
I don't
god,
know.
that'd be
I-
so funny.
I
yeah.
and for whatever reason, because
Way to bring us
I
back
don't know
on
why
track.
I'm trying, bro. I am a DM, bro.
I love this.
dungeon. I master some dungeons. I got this shit. I got
Let's
you.
go, let's go.
I got
Yeah.
you.
So good.
Okay.
Jokes make dangerous
Uh,
promises. You know what? Chud, you're 100% right, because there was another time where Promethean especially loves a challenge, because I have been like, hey, Promethean, donate 5 subs and I'll do this thing. And he immediately donated. I was like, no, don't, I was kidding. Don't do that. I was joking. So anyway, so that's a thing. If you donate, the joke has now become with specifically Promethean, if you donate 5 subs, then I'll do a weird accent of your choice. So if you want me to do a weird voice, donate 5 subs and I'll do a voice for you.
But for how long?
I don't know. I'll just start doing accents. It was because they were challenging him to do a southern accent. Or no, it was Emily challenging Emily to do a southern accent and me to do an Australian accent. I still haven't done an Australian accent. I'm scared. I've tried. I've been practicing it. One of these days I'm going to see Pro and be like, I can do this accent now.
It is a toughie. It is a toughie.
I can do Irish, but I can't do British and I can't do Australian for some reason.
What kind of accents do you think they have in the circus?
Good question. Again, really good at keeping my meds wore off. My Adderall is not working today,
I got you, girl. I gotcha.
I've said this before. You can't say we've gone off the rails if there were no rails to begin with, but here we go. Yeah, actually, so that's a good question. I think it depends. So if this is a world like X-Men, right? Like I'm just gonna keep using this as the kind of prime
superhero comic.
Prime like source inspiration material here. It would be like a modern kind of world, but if it's a traveling circus, I think the different like powered people are gonna be from all over the world. So I think maybe like the strongman has like a good like Russian accent. Like he's going to be a little bit more Slavic kind of
sure.
thing.
Okay. Alright, I'm into it.
I'm trying to think of like the different accents that I can do now that we're talking about voices. I did a couple of them on the stream with Promethean, but like I think
I guess my question would be like, where are we performing and where are we getting our performers from?
I think all over the world. Okay, so that's actually a good question. Is this circus one that is really like, is it like a Cirque du Soleil? Is this like a big, famous worldwide kind of circus? Or is this one that is like, oh, it's a small, like, you know, kind of underground local traveling thing that like bounces around and some people know about it, you know?
Right. I'm thinking I kind of want it to be big. I kind of want it to be a big deal to add to the mystery, right? Yeah. Like a like higher stakes, right? It's
which I love, because I love the idea of it having been like it started out as a very like small dinky thing, and so it just has grown and grown, and it's got like such a history to it, you know? But now it is very like, this is like the performance of the ages. This is like Cirque du Soleil. So
Okay.
yeah, I like the idea of my character doing like her like trapeze, like almost flying act, and maybe her like actual power is more uh not levitation, but like not to bring it back to Castleton. Fallon like couldn't necessarily fly, but she could like lift up and like um can like what's the word I'm looking for? Like hover and like kind of
Uh,
levitate and like maybe glide. So I like
would
the
you
idea of
say
her.
like gravity manipulation, perhaps?
Yeah, that feels a little too like high powered. I feel like she's someone who's like into like D&D terms. Like let's say she's like a lower level, so she can
Yeah.
like defy gravity to an extent. So maybe like for her, the gravity on
Feather
Earth.
fall.
Yes, yeah, like she has like a slow fall or a feather fall type of thing where it's like she looks like the gravity for her is affected a little bit differently than like
Okay.
another another
Or
person would
what?
be.
Or also either or. Yes, and any of those options.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um. Uh. Something that comes to mind. Perhaps you are hollow boned, right? I
Oh, like
so
some like partial
birds.
burned. Yeah.
Some birds are hollow boned to accommodate flight. I think also there was this one show, I believe it was Carnival Row on Amazon.
I've
Uh,
heard of that. I never saw it, but I've
okay,
heard
you
of
would
it.
love it.
Yeah.
You would love this tortured romance shit. You would That would be all over it. But
Okay, I'm
basically,
looking that up.
there's something about like there's pixies, but they're like life size, they're people size. They call them pixies, like as a derogatory.
Oh.
And it's like shitty fantasy industrial.
Yeah, it kind of looks like very like Industrial Revolution type of
Yeah,
era, like
and
almost
so,
almost Victorian kind of
but
style, but like
yes,
steampunk.
but like if they have like half blood kids, the kids come out all messed
Mm.
up because their bones can't accommodate the wings, and like it all gets all jacked up.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
so you should watch that because you'd probably like it. It is a
So
little sad, but you'd probably like it.
so for my
Uh,
character, her
uh
yeah, I probably would. I love it. I love tragic
but maybe
fantasy romance.
some kind of
Yeah, so
like that.
like for her it's like she does have like some avian bird like type of like anatomy but doesn't have wings. But like she learns to manipulate leverage and like uh she basically is like good with like physics, and so she's good at like knowing like force of how far to like
Yeah.
throw herself to make it look like she is gliding farther than like the average like gymnast. So maybe she like started out as like maybe she like
Ooh.
as a kid started out as like a gymnast. Um
What if the power is like being able to adjust your, I want to say center of gravity, but also like center of
mm,
mass. What if like you're able to put your weight? So imagine like a marble or like a ball inside a bottle, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
being
yeah,
able
yeah.
to like,
Yeah, yeah,
being able
yeah.
to shift your internal weight, maybe your internal mass, your
Yeah.
inertia. Maybe inertia is a
Yeah.
good word.
Yeah.
Inertia activation, something.
So essentially like a way to almost like defy physics but in the most subtle of ways that makes it. And so the ringleader's like way of sensationalizing it, or like the ringleader's way of like enhancing that, is to maybe make her move even farther, or maybe make it look like she's like give her like a, if it is like illusory, maybe give her like a spectral like trick of the light, almost like kind of wing structure, but it
Yeah, yeah.
only looks like if you like blink and you miss it, or like when it like reflects off a certain light, you get this almost spectral like wing off of her. So I would say
Hmm.
like her like stage name is something like Pixie or something, like it's like the the human, like something the Pixie of some kind. Like
Yeah,
that's her like
yeah.
sensationalized. That's what you would put like on the poster basically of her performance. Yeah,
Okay, no, I
I
hear
love
you.
it.
I hear you. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Um,
So, I guess then what is our setting conflict, right? Like
Mm.
when does it go wrong? Is how does it go wrong, right?
Yeah. Well, so is this a thing of like, yeah, they're trying to make it look like it is like super powered and sensational and stuff. Are they still trying to make it look realistic enough that like people can only have like a certain level of suspend their disbelief so much, but still have an understanding of it being like a trick? Kind of like how you would see, like when people go to see like, you know, a magician, when people go to see like magic shows, yeah, they understand there's a level of sleight of hand, of, you know,
Yeah.
trickery about, but, um,
Well, I was kind of thinking more. I was kind of still in the vein or the thought of design that they were like taking in people who are like sheltered or like sheltering
yeah.
people.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so I almost kind of picture like a show of force, right? Like
Mm,
a showrunner who's like, I'm gonna take these people in and amp up their or pr- uh, the illusion of amping up their abilities. That
yeah.
way, like projecting strength, but perhaps it's like, you know, the feds want them or something. Um,
Hi, Jenna.
maybe
I see Jenna in chat. Hi.
Oh, hey, beautiful. Um, so I think that would be an interesting approach. I feel like there's got to like how do we introduce conflict and growth for these characters, right?
Well,
Um,
so going back to thinking about going back to thinking about Greatest Showman, right? The Greatest Showman, P.T. Barnum, he literally like brings in people that are like these like outcasts, like a bearded lady, trapeze artist, things like that. He
mhm,
brings in these people that are these outcasts and does give them some kind of like, you know, a refuge. It gives them like a home, a place to feel, if not normal, to feel special, to feel good, and to feel like their
mhm,
abnormalities
mhm,
are
mhm.
a thing to like showcase versus, you know, like, because this is where a lot of the like controversy that I saw about uh, the Greatest Showman was people just being basically being like, oh no, the reality was that it was more exploitative versus the movie making
Uh-huh.
it seem like it was more because there is a whole song that's called "This Is Me," which is about like very much like um, this is I'm not going to be scared of who I am anymore. Like I'm not going to be. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the thing that makes me weird and different is the thing that I want to showcase because it's the thing that is making me so like special, right? It's not a freak show. It is a being proud of myself show basically.
Sure, I hear you.
Which is great. And so I think and so the conflict, like a big problem that happened in The Greatest Showman was that, you know, some people in like certain audiences just just didn't think it was like a show. They didn't think it was good. They thought it was just, no, you're just a bunch of freaks. And so it turned into a lot of like there was a lot of like harassment and trying to like basically sabotage and get rid of the show, get rid of the circus. So is it
Okay.
going to be like a thing like that? Maybe some audiences or some people think that this circus and this performance is kind of all a joke, and it's like these people are not special, but they're just like freaks. Or is it going to be more of a situation of like maybe it's more of a structural, like a systemic problem of like there's people from a more like uh, position of power that are opposed, like someone basically
Mhm.
someone on some
Mhm.
side has to oppose the circus, the existence of the circus, I think, because the threat needs to be against their home. It needs to be against their actual like place that is their refuge, which is this circus. So that's kind of my
Hmm.
thought, is like there would be a threat to this home, whether it is from audiences, whether it is from like a governmental standpoint or a systemic thing. I think the real conflict would be something that is going against the show itself. I love how much like people are just yelling hi and like being friends in the chat over here. I keep glancing over and I just keep
Yeah.
saying like, "Hi Jenna, oh my gosh, look
I
at that." I
know.
love
Isn't it
this.
nice? Isn't
Y'all
it
are
nice?
so cute. I love that my
Isn't it
chat is
nice?
just us being friends and just hanging out. Uh, I love this
I
place.
think I think the thing is I want there to be something worse. So like here's
Mm,
we're gonna say we cannot escape the clutches of the dragon game. So
oh,
let's cycle back to D&D
okay,
as a comparative analysis tool.
okay.
There is the campaign that is Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Have you heard of this?
I am in a home game of Witchlight, and actually, one of the first non-Dimension 20 campaigns, actual plays that I ever watched was Legends of Avantress, Once Upon a Witchlight, which is one of my favorite actual plays. So yes, I love Wild Beyond the Witchlight so much.
Okay,
I want to play it. I
sick.
want to be in a Witchlight actual play so badly.
Okay, okay, but you have not played it yourself.
I'm in a home game of it, which we did have to put on pause. Been we haven't revisited it in a bit, but I have played a little
Okay.
bit of it. So I am familiar with
I
the
all right.
the game.
I
Yeah.
haven't played it. I watched before we even met up. Like I watched Dork Tales Wild Beyond the Witchlight actual play a year or
Oh.
two before Castleton. I think what was Falmar
Yeah, Kelly, who plays
yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
I recognized him. I was like, oh shit, like that's the DM
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
that. But so I
I
watched.
didn't know that they have a Witchlight campaign. That's going on my. I have a spreadsheet of actual plays that
Stop. That's
I'm not
so
kidding.
awesome.
I'll send it to you
Okay.
later. So I legit have a
Okay.
spreadsheet of actual plays that I either need to watch, I need to catch up on, or I'm in the process of watching. I keep track of what episode I'm on, whether it's a re-listen, I'm catching up, or if I've listened to it at all yet. I also make sure I like post on if I'm like actually caught up or not. It's a thing, and it's because I have too
Okay.
many fucking friends in this space, and I want to listen to all of y'all's content.
Isn't it neat? Isn't it
It's
neat?
so good. I love
Um.
it.
Uh.
Anyway, yeah, I
But
have a spreadsheet
so
that that's going on.
I didn't finish watching all of it, but
Mm.
I got up to like once they get into the Feywild. I watched through the whole carnival portion.
Okay,
Um.
yeah.
I think also I'm not sure, but we do. If Jenna's still in chat, there is a resident Strahd expert in there.
Mm.
I think Barovia. I think there's some kind of shitty evil carnival with Strahd, and there's like an dark carnival. I think in Barovia or something. I swear I've read this document before, but I could be wrong. But I wanted to compare against a different circus.
Ravenloft Carnival sounds awesome. Holy
I
shit.
feel it could be a fever dream that I had, but I thought that existed or
If
was
it is a
connected in
fever
some way.
dream, we need to connect and make that real. Oh, there is a supplement called Dark Carnival. That's awesome. Okay,
I
that's sick as
feel
hell.
like I have that bookmarked. I feel like I
That's
have
cool.
something like that bookmarked. And so I'm gonna tie this back to the thread of external forces against a
Yeah,
carnival.
like a
So
threat
like
against the carnival itself.
in Wild Beyond the Witchlight, if I remember correctly, you have more experience than I in this. The thing with the carnival is it's actually a gateway to like the demi plane, and somebody went missing. I think the show person got.
You're you're somewhat on the right path. So the
Okay, what is
Witchlight
it?
Carnival,
Okay.
the Witchlight Carnival is a Fey carnival, and so what the campaign is that I'm from the actual play that I have seen and from the like experience that I have it. Basically, you go to the carnival, you notice that like certain like there are some like people that have gone missing or certain like people who are like, oh, this person
Mhm.
in my life like went missing, and essentially the point of going to the carnival in terms of like gameplay is to eventually go into the Feywild. So the campaign Wild Beyond the Witchlight is going into the fairy
Mhm.
realm, the Feywild. So yes, essentially like you have to talk to the
Okay.
two ringleaders, the people who run the carnival, which are Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Um, and that's a whole like dynamic. So depending on how you plan it, but
There is a
yeah.
whole dynamic.
So basically, yes, the Witchlight Carnival comes to the material world once every, I think, like 8 years. I think is the number in the game. I could be wrong on that, but it's like once every certain number of years, and the point is the party goes to the carnival on like the last day of the carnival, but all this crazy shit's going down, so we need to go into the Feywild and like solve the problem. So yeah, so essentially the purpose of the carnival in the game is that it acts as a gateway to get into the Feywild.
For our carnival, our illusory or amplifying carnival, our showrunner, I guess, is it as simple? Is the conflict as easy or as simple as just removing our showrunner, and what happens to the carnival after that? Like, is it really? Could it be the dude is assassin? It doesn't have to be assassinated, but like,
maybe like the ringleader. So we've been talking about how the ringleader is played by like an NPC. So yeah, what if like the ringleader goes missing or like gets basically taken out of the equation in some way?
Right. Then you have a show, right? Then the problem is you have a show that is less sensational in appearance. They're still just as good as an ability because it was just arguably amplifying the glamour and glitz, right?
Well, I think that would I think the show itself would be put on hold, because then you would have like the conflict of some characters, like you said, your character being like the knife thrower guy. Some characters being like, oh, we can do this without him. Like we're good enough to do this, right? Maybe he has like a little bit of like hubris there. Whereas other characters are like, yeah, I can do some things, but like he's the one who, like the fire guy, like I know how to. My finger is a Zippo lighter. Like I can't shoot a fireball the way that he allows me to do, kind of thing. And my character, like I feel like my character would be like, yeah, my act is like impressive, but people like to see me as people think I'm like a fairy. I don't actually have wings, but people think I do. And I can't show off wings if I don't have the ability to, like, unless I'm wearing the fucking like cheap ass Tinkerbell wings from Party City, like that.
Okay.
So that kind of thing.
I love that.
There would be some.
I think those are compelling inside conflicts.
Yeah, that would definitely be some like internal conflicts. Okay, so I do have let's kind of scale down from story real quick. I want to talk about like characters. So we know what our characters like act would be, right?
Sure.
Just for character development, because these are the kind of like basic questions that I like to ask to kind of like establish who these people are.
Let's do it.
And unfortunately, it is the hardest question to answer every time. What's your character's name?
Oh shit. Okay.
And we're going to make it even harder because I love to make naming shit harder. What's your character's name? What is his stage name? What's his name, and what is the name that he goes by as a performance as well? Hi, Aurora. I see you in chat.
Oh,
hello.
Oh, hi, Aurora. Were your ears burning? We were talking about you earlier.
We're on the hardest part of the episode, which is always, what the fuck are our characters' names? We were talking about you earlier, or we were talking about you basically like promoting Not Quite Novelists on. We're going to talk about you basically like promoting Not Quite Novelists on your stream, which was fun. But then also the fact that you were the one who clipped my joking promise about needing to get to a certain number of followers and subscribers to do a hot tub stream. Because we have evidence of that now. That's real. That's a thing that happened. Yes, okay. So, you're so sweet, Aurora. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's go. Okay, we don't have to name them just yet. What does your character look like? I feel like that one's a little bit easier of a question to answer.
Okay.
So let's start with that. What does your character look like?
Okay, I was coming up with names for jokes. What he looks like. Not 1 second of thought was put into what he looks like. Okay.
You know what I'm imagining? And I'll give you my God's honest, like, this is what pops into my head when I think of, like, the knife throwing character.
Okay, I'm listening.
There's a musical movie that I really like. Have you ever heard of this movie called The Devil's Carnival?
No.
Okay, it's
Okay.
I don't know if you're into like musicals. I'm a big musical
Yeah, yeah.
geek, right? I love musical theater and I love musical movies. And this movie is wild. It's literally about these like I think it's like 5 or 6 people who they die and go to hell, but their hell is a legitimate carnival where they're like, moral, their tests from like what their punishment for their
Uh-huh.
sins in life is put into these like carnival games. So like this one lady was she died, but her biggest sin was that she was like super greedy. So she was like a thief. She stole like jewels and money and gold and jewelry and all this shit. And so
Okay.
her like punishment in the game was that, or in the carnival was that she um had to basically face like her own greed. It's called The Devil's Carnival. The music is chaotic and fun as hell. It's so good. Um, but the reason I'm asking is because there's this one girl who died because I honestly like I haven't seen this movie in a really long time, but essentially
Okay.
what it came to me is like she just died because she had really shitty taste in men.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Valid.
she meets this guy who's very like, he's the like very I don't remember his character's name, but he's very like 50s like greasy like suave. He's got like a pompadour shit, like wears like a leather jacket. He has a song that is called Trust Me, and he's like singing like you can trust me, it's fine to this girl, and has her like strung up on that wheel and does like his act is doing the knife throwing. So
Okay.
I'm
How
imagining a very like
but how does he look? But how does he look to
no,
have what?
very much like that. It's very like 50s, like he looks
Okay.
like a like he's got like pompadour type of style. He's
He's
got
got a
like where's the like
pompadour. I'm in. Shut up.
let
Say
me
less.
let me
I'm
find
done.
I'm so everybody please go look up Devil's Carnival.
Just Google pompadour.
Devil's
That was the
Carnival.
most
Trust
important
me.
part.
Yeah, Devil's Carnival. The movie is wild. It is really crazy. It honestly like now I'm looking at the picture, the pompadour, it looks like sculpted. Like he looks like he's like a doll of some kind. It's interesting. The makeup and the costume design in this movie is insane. Um, yeah, I highly recommend. It's a great show. The music is insane. It's also the movie where I learned about the fable, the Scorpion and the Frog. Um,
Oh, really?
which is one
Cool.
of my
Neat.
favorites. Yeah, because there's a song about it, which is about this girl trusting this fucking douchebag too much. But it's very like, you know, hot boy, kind of
Hot boy. Hot boy.
very like don't laugh at me, but it's very like, oh, I am the guy who is gonna be like your fucking your like weakness if you're like a girl who's just way too trusting of dudes. I look like the bad boy type of like he's that kind of
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
He's I love him. Oh my god. Let me see if I can find an actual like picture of him and I'll just send it to you on Discord real quick.
Okay, all right, let's check this out. I
He's so
picture.
good.
Okay, okay.
So
Before.
that's my first thought is like when I think of like the like knife throwing guy in a like carnival circus
Okay,
situation,
this
I
is
think
so
of the
funny
movie Devil's
because all
Carnival
right,
and I think
hold
of
on,
him.
girl, back up, pump the brakes. All right, hold on, slow down. Okay, you pump the brakes, girl, slow down. All right,
You don't
this
have
is
to
very.
listen to me. You can tell me that we're not doing this. Like that's
This is very, no, it's very funny to me because the whole time I've been thinking of what his name was, and all I could think of that. So I was thinking of like I thought of something stupid really fast, like Ice Pick Steve or something. so, so
yeah.
I, because so I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it was
yeah. It's so
so
good.
that so the problem is when you do that, if you've ever needed to fast improv an NPC,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like what's his name, and you like everything at once hits you in the face, and then but from that moment I'll try to draft why is he named Ice Pick Steve, and I was like, well, obviously he's throwing like a screwdriver, like an ice pick, and that's how he throw.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, what kind of person is probably going to have sharp features, right? Like hawkish,
Mm.
like a
Mm-hmm.
slanted like face, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Sharp
yeah.
features in the face. And then I was like, well, how would somebody like that probably dress? And they'd probably dress like Bullseye from 2003 Daredevil. Like I feel like that's probably how they
Mm.
dress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
Okay.
maybe I'm too maybe I'm reading too close to like inspiration source right now that I have something to work on, but
No,
that's
no,
what
I
I
like
think
it.
of.
I like it.
And
Also, I just
and
sent you the pictures of this guy on Discord, by the way, so go and look at
uh,
that real quick.
oh my God, what is this? This is this. What is Devil's Carnival?
The
This is
Devil's Carnival is the
nightmare.
name of the movie. It's insane. Well, I mean,
This
it's
is a
set in
nightmare.
hell. The movie is set
It,
in hell. What did you expect? Well, that's what I mean. Is like the pompadour is like, but it's very like I think of like a very like 50s guy for some reason, like very like greaser type. You know what I mean? Because every time I think of knife throwing, I think of that scene in that
that's
movie.
so interesting to me. That that association needs to be studied. I have to go watch this movie right now because
That
that's so
association
that's
needs to be
okay. Because
studied.
I refuse to believe I'm the like I'm giving you Daredevil, I'm giving you
It's so
Diego, I'm giving you
good.
this,
No.
and you're like, I got this 1950s Joker looking motherfucker. You guys need to Google this. You need to look up
No,
Devil's
y'all need to
Carnival
look up Devil's
Green
Carnival.
Pompadour.
Just look up. The song is called "Trust Me." Go look him up. He's great. I love this movie
He
so much.
this
It is a
this
nightmare. This
is
movie is
something to
the movie is 100% a fever dream. You're right. I agree with you.
clearly some internalized nightmare you have, Savannah. But okay.
I grew up on like salad fingers and like shit like that. All right, like I like
Oh
weird
Lord, have
nightmare content.
mercy. Okay.
Anyway,
Obviously, that guy. No, clear. That guy is guilty. Obviously, that's the guy who took the ringleader. By the way, like very obvious. Like
oh,
that
that's
guy.
the villain. So funny.
That's obviously the villain. I immediately am like that's clearly the villain, bro.
So good. Yes. Scorpion the character. Yeah. So there's a whole song in the show that tells the story of the Scorpion and the Frog, and the Scorpion is it's him. I'm not even sorry. That's so funny. Um, the
It's
pompadour is
crazy.
fascinating. Yeah, it's wild.
It's
I told you,
crazy.
it looked like sculpted. It looked like it's made out of like he looks like almost doll like. It's very weird. I
That's
told you this movie
like
is
I'm
insane.
so
But
obsessed by it that like it's that kind of weird magic. Hold on, we're gonna dig into the lore of the
we have
pompadour
to
here. Hang on.
study Savannah's
Hold on to your
psychology
ass,
with this.
people.
It's
Listen
so
to this,
funny.
okay? I want you pull off that fucking pompadour, and I want it to be like a glass brain or something under there, like something crazy, right? Like I want there to be some kind of pompadour. I do want pompadour. Okay, I
Listening
want
to JoJo
pompadour.
just go off
I
about this
I
fucking costume
I
design
I
is so
I
funny.
I want to pull off that freaky dude's hairpiece and see what's going on under there because there's clearly like a meteorite, some kind of Men in Black tiny alien going on. I don't know, but I need to know. I need to know. That has to be the plot of the setting. Um,
I can't breathe. It's so funny. Oh my
no,
god.
nothing. I will not stop. I must uncover the source
No.
of the
Okay. We have to.
pompadour.
No. Well, go watch Devil's Carnival.
Okay. All
It's
right.
set in hell. I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know what you were expecting. From me saying a sculpted pompadour and a greaser looking douchebag. So like, I said what I said.
I just googled
So
pompadour and
funny.
got a picture of Elvis, so it was just different.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was,
I told
I
you.
was.
Oh my god. Skinnier, darker Eddie from Rocky Horror is great. That's so funny. Yeah, kind
So
of,
that's our
honestly.
villain, right? That's our villain, obviously.
Is this fucking guy? Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Okay. So I actually don't know the character from Daredevil that you were referring to.
Oh,
So tell me again,
you don't
what
know
character am
this
I?
absolute Florida man looking dude? You got to check this guy out.
All right.
Okay. No,
What's the
look up.
character's name?
His name is Bullseye, and you got to search like 2003 Daredevil as extra keywords. Don't get any modern Bullseye. You need to get this Bullseye.
2003 Daredevil. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah. You had it right when you said Florida man. That's
I know what I am. Okay, like what is like?
You were right. Hey, listen, I was also right when I said what I said about the guy from Devil's Carnival. Yeah, I love it. It's Colin Farrell. Yeah, that tracks.
It's so funny.
Yeah. That's wild. I love the look though. See,
I
for your character specifically, I do imagine more of a Diego type. I'm just saying for knife thrower carnival worker in general, I'm going to
Bro, I
imagine.
think hold on. I'm looking at that guy's costume. This guy's got like some kind of alligator skin trench coat. Like
I'm
some
looking at it. I'm looking at it. Like this is wild.
It is so crazy.
It's really interesting the actual literal bullseye branded into his forehead. Like that.
I know,
That's
wild.
Wild.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I love it. It's great.
Okay. Well,
okay. So let's
well,
get back on track. So
focus.
we have said 3 wildly different aesthetics, all for your characters. So what exactly do you think that are we sticking with Ice Pick Steve? Is that what we're doing?
Oh.
What are we doing?
Right, this is about my character still. Jesus
yeah, we're
Christ,
talking about your character, and we have gotten inspiration from 3 wildly different sources.
I think I want him. I think I've decided.
Okay, what do we got?
I think okay. I hear what you're saying about the pompadour, but I want to interact with the pompadour man, so he's got to exist elsewhere. Okay. I want
so this fucking demon from Devil's Carnival is now canon in this world that we've created here.
Yeah, I only have questions. I only have questions. Okay, so that's pretty important to me.
We're gonna end this stream, and it's gonna be another like 2 hours of just you grilling me about this movie.
And I do think him being Ice Pick Steve is funny. I can't navigate away from that reflex.
This is like you naming what was your character in Crossroads? Johnny something. It was
it was Howlin' Johnny Slim
Howlin' Johnny Slim. Yep.
Yeah, with Johnny Slim.
Another great series. Go watch Cloud Kill Connor's Crossroads. I wish I could have interacted with Johnny. I wanted to so badly. Like that was such a great character.
Episode is coming soonish. It's in editing. We have our ending. We are still alive in Crossroads.
Yeah.
But the closing episode to that is coming soon. Aurora is in there with me in Crossroads, as well as Forever GM Justin is in there as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. He's still kicking.
I've already had my finale for Crossroads, unfortunately, but I love my characters. Story, so just go watch Crossroads, everybody. After this, go on a Cloud Kill Connor and watch, because it's great.
Okay, and the reason I'm stuck on the Ice Pick Steve is because I saw a video like on TikTok, and this guy was throwing screwdrivers at targets, Like it was one of the
Okay.
scariest things I've ever seen. But he was
Horrifying.
throwing
Yeah.
straight up screwdrivers
So
into like pieces of wood, and
so the act that you have is not that you're throwing like knives like a normal knife thrower. It's that you can throw like anything like at a target.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay, okay. I like that. I like
exactly,
that. I'm
right.
trying to look up like circus performer, like stage name ideas and stuff like that. I'm trying to see like what kind of inspo I can get
Huh.
for my character.
Nice.
Um, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we have had many different aesthetics for
I'm rocking
like
with I'm
inspiration
rocking with
aesthetics.
yeah, I'm rocking with the 1950s aesthetic. I'll commit to the bit. Let's do a
I like the
1950.
I kind of like the idea of all of us having like a vaguely 50s kind of like this is
Yeah.
like a retro futuristic like it is kind of in a modern world but it's like
No, I'm into it.
very yeah. Also Aurora wants to know what exactly is the superpower for JoJo's character.
It was so originally it was we were talking about the if they had magic, but it wasn't good enough to be superheroes. If it was
Yeah.
superhero, it was superpowers, but nothing so great or crazy that you'd be a superhero over.
Yeah.
And so we
So like
compared it against cantrips for
yeah.
scale compared to spells. And so my thought was, okay, then I'll use True Strike, which is just that kind of focus of curving the throw or curving the bullet or whatever.
Yeah. A lot
Um,
of trick shots for
Trick shots.
yeah.
I guess the magic power in question was trick shots. Um, Improvised trick shots is the superpower, but not enough to be a superhero over necessarily.
Mhm. Um I kind of just want my gotta run love hanging out. Bye werewolf. Have a great night. Thank you for stopping by and providing all your lovely input. I appreciate all of that. Um yeah, I think I think that my character's like stage name is just gonna be like the Pixie or something like you know what I mean? Like something like that of
Yeah,
like, you know, the Pixie and then the tagline is like proof that fairies live among us or whatever. Proof that the fae are real, the fair folk are real. That kind of you know, that's the like
yeah.
what goes on the poster or something.
I don't know what his stage name would be though.
Mm. I'm sorry, Ice Pick Steve is his normal name and not his stage name?
I just feel like they just call him Ice Pick Steve. Like
Yeah, no,
I
maybe that's like a nickname. Like they when he joined the circus, they found him like playing these like little trick shots just by himself, but he was using ice picks.
yeah. I that's literally. I'm thinking.
But it's not
I
his
did.
stage name is so funny. What if his actual like stage name is just like trick shot?
Oh, that's so simple. I love it. Thank
Yeah.
God. All right.
Easy. It's memorable. It goes on the
Yeah.
fucking
No. Done.
yeah.
Sold. Sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Trick shot.
Done.
I love it. We got trick
Thank
shot and
you.
the pixie. Beautiful.
Oh,
Chef's kiss.
Trick Shot and the Pixie. I'd read that
Oh,
comic book.
right? That's cute. I like it. I do
I'd read
think like
that.
our characters like behind the scenes would just end up being like I think they would absolutely end up getting like really close. Just be like
The
especially if my character is like, "Oh, there's not a trapeze, you know, show coming up. Well, like we need like a daring assistant to get put up on the fucking spinning
well,
wheel
yeah,
for trick shot
exactly.
to
If
throw shit
you're
at." Yeah.
definitely the character that's like,
Yeah.
haha, this will be fine.
I love the idea though of what if okay, so just scene ideas. I love the idea that like
Okay.
when you first joined cuz maybe like I was a part of the circus for like a lot longer than you were. Like I've just been a
Uh huh.
part of it. And when you joined and we were like trying to figure out like your act or whatever, you were just told, "Oh, we're going to have you do like a you know the kind of act where it's like we're gonna put somebody on this like spinning wheel." We hadn't
Mhm.
met until you just saw like me just strapped on and we're like, "We're doing this." And like we hadn't even spoken or met and I'm just like, "I don't know you, but I have to trust that you won't kill me." Like that's
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Add a pure
I
level of fear to how we meet each other as characters. It'd be
I
so
I
good.
I like the idea of him having never done that before in that moment. I
Mm.
I
Yeah, that
I
particular trick has never been done either, and you're just like,
yeah,
I have to do what?
sick,
So good.
sick.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like, okay, I'm just going to give headcanons to your character. You can agree,
Okay.
disagree, tell me
All
if you
right.
like this or
I'm
not.
listening. I'm
But I have
listening.
a this is my pitch for you. Imagine you had seen the show, like seen the come to the circus at one point. Like maybe you like, you got a ticket somehow and you saw like my like trapeze act as like the pixie. And
Okay.
so then when you eventually joined, you were like kind of like a fan of the pixie, and then so when you're like, "Oh, am doing this act," where there's like, "Oh, a person, like maybe when I was practicing this act there was like a dummy, but now they put a real person on this wheel." They pull the like, cover off to hear the audience like gasp and everything, and then it's me and you're just like, "Oh, even more fear because this is the person in the show that I actually liked." And now I'm like, I've never met
I like
just
it. I
add
like
all
it.
of the
I
anxiety to it.
But it's got to be. But I there has to be a scene, where the trapeze wire snaps. You
Hmm.
There has to be a throw catch, like catch, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
collar, or the I don't know if there's like a tutu skirt or
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but there's at some point in the saga there's got to be a sweet catch him on the pin him to the wall kind of move.
Yes.
Gotta
Oh,
happen. Gotta happen.
so
Gotta happen
good.
in the HBO blockbuster special that will be
Yeah.
coming in 2035, right? Like that.
2035. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I love it. It's so good.
right. You heard it here. You heard it here. Trick Shot in the Pixie, 2035.
Trick Shot and the Pixie is so cute. I love that.
Right.
That is fully like a cutesy little like at least like a little comic, like a web comic or something. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like
There's,
minimum. That's so precious. Oh, that's so good. I love them.
okay.
I'm
So
trying to think now of what
how
the
do we save our circus though if our guy goes missing?
yeah, okay. So that I think depends what is the so if we're going to talk about like do the world building aspect of it, let's talk about why did the guy go missing? Like is this something of like did he just get kidnapped because like something so like human like he owed someone money, or is it something like someone's trying to dismantle the carnival itself for a certain reason? Like
I
why kidnap the ringleader? Like what's the goal here?
I kind of want it. I think sometimes like the cruelest thing is when it's unrelated, right? Like it's just a casualty of
Mm,
circumstance.
yeah, like
Um,
maybe someone had it out for the ringleader himself, but the carnival as a whole was not the target. It was just
yeah,
him. So like yeah, maybe it
yeah.
was something so like small as if like he just owed someone money or something. Maybe he like was able to get
I
his like big shot, his big start by like borrowing from some shady people or something like that. I don't know.
I think it's kind of interesting. Well, we should lean into what we have. So we know
Hmm.
that he's some either an illusionist or an amplifier, and we've kind of waffled between which. What
Yeah.
if, it turns out in fact that they thought perhaps that it was just illusions, right? Like maybe something
Mm.
but in actuality, this person serves as like a sort of uh amplifier. I don't want to say magic because it's not magic,
Yeah.
but not also
But
mutant.
his
That's not right. Some
yeah.
sort of quirk amplifier.
Yeah, like his
It
power like cuz he is the like Professor X of this story if
right.
we're like circling all the way back to X-Men. So like him being like instead of his power being like, reading minds, knowing people thinking, his ability within himself actually is amplification.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So what if that's the bit? and it turns out that once this guy is removed from the circus, it's not what if it turns out that this guy's bit is that his amplification stays over time and with exposure. So once he's
Oh,
removed from the setting, it turns out everybody's abilities are still potent, more than they thought they were, and they have to come to terms with the fact of the
yeah.
doubt that's inset in their mind, but it's because they've been in a supportive environment the whole time that they've been able to blossom. And the
Yeah.
guy's been taken away because the feds want to use his power to enhance weapons of destruction.
Okay, so it is like a governmental thing, but it's more like a government like
It's always
experiment
the
to like it's
government.
always
I'm always the story's always gonna. I'm always gonna. I, I'm always
it's
gonna jump in there.
this is like with Brennan Lee Mulligan, the BBEG is always capitalism. With JoJo, the BBEG is always going to be the government.
Okay, it's the feds.
So
Okay,
good.
it's the
I
feds.
honestly I
It's the
get
feds.
it. I do. I love it.
Okay,
The
so
BBEG is both the government and self doubt.
yeah, what the fuck? Is that not why you
Honestly,
invited me on the show?
I'm
Is that not why I? Is
you're
that?
right, and I feel like that we just brought it home to a very real place.
Always speak as
BBEG is
truth.
always gonna
Always speak as
be
truth. Okay.
the BBEG is always gonna be the government and your own self doubt, your own
Yeah,
limiting beliefs.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
So
And
good. Holy
so
shit.
you know what? I rest my case, Your Honor. I'm done here. We can
Adjourned.
let's wrap it up.
Case
I'm done
closed.
here.
That's so good. I love it so much. Oh my god, that's awesome. I mean, I can't say anything against it. I can't disagree with it. I love it. But I love the idea of it being like so out of it's like the carnival itself is so far removed. It's so far like no, it's so not related at all to
Yeah,
this. But
yeah.
the interesting part about it is that these like government like people they also severely underestimate the abilities of the performers because they're like okay some chick who can like you know stay in the air for a couple seconds longer than a
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
person or all right some guy who can always win at darts or something you know what I mean like
Yeah.
they so underestimate like the actual usefulness of the power and this is actually we've been bringing up so many different like movies and TV shows because there is so much superhero media that we can like pull from to actually like draw
Mhm.
inspiration for this kind of story. And I'm gonna bring up. I hope that Austin is still in chat 'cause I see you. Do you remember is a Disney movie Sky High? Do you remember that movie?
Um no. I
Oh my
I did not
god.
grow up. No, I don't know it.
So good. Okay, so it was a Disney Channel movie, and it was about like a world where like everybody had like superpowers, but it was a superhero school, right? And people were like,
Well, chat knows.
you were
Chat
talking to me,
knows. Chat knows.
yeah, chat knows Sky
Okay.
High. So because what they do is in this school, uh, in your like freshman year, like the beginning of your freshman year, you get sorted in based on how like powerful or how good your like power is. You get sorted
Mhm.
into are you a hero or a sidekick?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Sure,
you get
sure.
sorted
Okay.
basically like yeah, Aurora and Renegade know Sky High. I know my sister knows Sky High. But it's yeah, so they get sorted into like hero versus sidekick, and then it becomes like a whole thing, and people get sorted, and so the story in itself like of Sky High because it's a Disney Channel movie, but
Sure.
it's like the heroes of the movie are the people who were deemed sidekicks because their powers weren't you know being superhero worthy being like
Mhm,
so
mhm, mhm.
and I think like the main character it's a whole thing where like the main character is like the son of the like Superman like the big superhero guy of this
Oh,
world
okay,
right
sure.
the one superhero everyone knows who's played by uh the fuck why am I forgetting his name I know who he is
I don't.
Kurt Russell. Thank you. I knew it was Kurt, but I was not. The name is not coming. Kurt Russell is playing superhero. He's great. But like the son is like he's the main character, and he's like the son of Kurt Russell's character, who's like has like super strength and is like the Superman type of character. But he like doesn't have any powers, and so he gets immediately put into like sidekick because he's just like, I got nothing.
Yeah,
Um,
sure,
so
yeah.
the idea the photographic memory is coming in handy tonight. I love that for you. Yeah, so like I love the idea of this story essentially being like, oh, the ringleader is the one. He is the Professor X. He is the one who like has the real power, and everybody else is just
Yeah.
sidekicks. So it's like, okay, of course we're going to like completely, dismiss the power of the sidekicks, but it's like that's a whole ass like you have a whole ass army of people working this
Yeah.
fucking carnival, and all of them are still gonna be stronger than the average human in something. And you got a whole ass group of them who are fiercely loyal to this one dude because he's the one who like brought them together. Y'all are fucked. Like
Yeah.
they don't stand a chance. Yeah, I love that
I
idea.
think so, and I think
I will
narratively
I
that
will
speaks
say.
to like the cultivation of like community too.
Mm,
Like I think as a storytelling point,
mm-hmm.
it's one of those that's could be a good theme to put in a story or deliver. Is I think in the from despite its goofy beginnings,
Yeah,
uh, it there is a room in superhero genre for coming of age stories
yeah.
for I don't know. I'd play this. I'd play this. I'd read this comic.
Yeah, I would do, absolutely. Because, yeah, you're right. There is so. This is why I like. I'm not a big superhero person when it comes to the media that I consume. I'm much more of like a high fantasy Lord of the Rings kind of person, but I like my fair share of superhero content. I've given you enough examples today. Um, but like the idea of community, like I love the idea of like I really like the Avengers, right? I like this idea of like all these different people coming together for one certain cause. So this idea of like, okay, the ringleader gets taken away, and then I feel like in that case, because we talked a little bit about how like trick shots
Mhm.
like hubris, like he has a little bit like he gets too cocky, whereas like, oh, I can totally like do this. I think that's actually not the like bad thing, or not the like possible flaw that we originally had intended when we were talking about it. I think that's more of like, no, that makes Trickshot the one who is going to empower everybody else in this carnival to get up and actually go and like fight to find the ringleader. Like he's going to be the one who becomes this like not necessarily like the next ringleader, but definitely the next one who is like he's going to be the one to really rally and empower everybody else to be like, I know that I was good before, Mr. Ringleader found me. I just got better because of him, but
Uh.
I'm not worse because he's gone now. I just got better because he was here. And because of that, I know that I'm good enough to like make this shit happen. And all of y'all are too. And everybody else is like, but we needed him. Like we relied on him to like, enhance our powers. And you're the one who like kind of challenges us to like test the limits of our abilities, and to actually test and realize like we are stronger now like because of him, and not weaker because he's gone. And
Yeah.
becomes like this kind of like driving, leading, like very like the leading man in a story of like, I'm gonna rally everybody else to like do this, to be this like cause, to rally the like scrappy group of misfits kind of thing. Yeah, that's such a cool concept. Like I would totally read this comic, actually. I
Yeah.
like this
It.
so much.
Yeah. Trick Shot and the Pixie,
Trick Shot and the
2035
Pixie.
on HBO, whatever it is by then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna start like commissioning all my artist friends. Be like, hey, I need you guys to read this. This is so cool.
Look,
I
man,
never
let's
came
do
up with
it. Let's
a.
make it happen.
I never came up with a real name for Pixie. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, see, here's my problem with names. I usually come up with names that like I'll look up like names that actually like mean a certain thing. Like I'll look up names that mean such and such that like happen to be like in relation to their character or their like arc or story or whatever. Sometimes though, I hear the character's voice in the back of my head appear and go, "Hey, hey, this is my name." And I just have to go, "Okay." Um so
No,
the I was gonna say, so the name that did pop into my head immediately, and I just looked up the meaning of it, which I think is adorable, and I love this. But the name that immediately came to mind is Vivian.
oh, nice. I like
And
Vivian.
when I looked up the name Vivian, the meaning is lively or alive, and I think that's adorable, and I'm gonna keep that. So I think her real name is Vivian.
Oh.
Um, Yeah, when I'm writing, I hear the character's name in my head. Yeah, I will have like full on like conversations to myself with my character. Like whether if I'm in like a game, I have this happened in Castleton a lot. There were a lot of moments where like you can see me pause, and it's because I am having a conflict in my head of like Fallon wants this, Savannah wants this, and I have to remember like this is the
Mhm.
character's choice, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, yeah, I
for
definitely will
sure.
get into like conversations with my characters to really like get to know them. So yeah, I think Vivian, aka the Pixie, is her name.
I like it.
I think
I
that's
like
cute.
it.
Also, I just think Steve and Vivian is cute. Like I think
I
like them like
do.
being normal people as like Steve and Vivian. But I
The
think everyone calls him Ice Pick Steve, but Vivian's the only one who calls him just Steve.
I love it. There's just something jarringly normal about it that I like.
Yeah. Also, I looked up the name meaning of Steve or Stephen,
Hmm.
and it means crown, garland, or wreath of honor, which I think is really cool. Because I think the idea of
Whoa.
like, yeah, I think the idea of like, um, when when a ringleader gets like taken, um and you being the one who like really like steps up to kind of like rally everyone, it's like you kind of step into that role of leadership. It's like you take on that
Hmm.
role in his absence. I think that like feels very fitting. I think that's really interesting.
I like it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love it.
I like where we've landed on it. I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I think that's cute. I think we've come up with something. Oh, you know what we didn't name though?
What?
What's the name of the circus?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Cause like so the name in like the last carnival episode I did was the aliens one with Diana of the Rose. So I think we came up with something about it was like the name it was like Dr. Jones's intergalactic carnival or something like that. It was something crazy. So a circus name. I'm just gonna start hitting up like fantasy name generator, but then I'm gonna like see what we can kind of like cherry pick from there that we like. Because I want it to be something like hmm, maybe not necessarily like mutant or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
extra
No, I
something
think
about like
it.
yeah.
I'm thinking something like I'm chewing on it. I'm chewing on it. It's coming to me. It's coming to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, the fantasy name
I
generator has
want it to
come
be.
up with some really
I
cute
want it to
ones.
be something like, oh, this is gonna be word vomit, word associations. Hang
Okay.
on, hang on to your ass. Okay, let's see what we're gonna come up with. All right. I think I'm thinking like I want to be some kind of funny like extra sensible, extra sensibilities playing off like extra sensory, right? So like um
Oh.
okay, so extra sensory, extra sensible, extra sensible, extra there's something there. There's something there. Hang on.
Hold on.
Uh X Sep something maybe with exceptional.
Ooh. So, because what I'm thinking is, obviously, my first thought was like, okay, Cirque du Soleil is like the big one
Okay.
that we know of. So I'm thinking, okay, Cirque du, let's keep it in the like realm of like a French thing. So instead of soleil, maybe it's a word that's like that what's the French word for like, um, you know, uh, what's the word for like sensory, or what's the French word for things like, um, what's the word I'm looking for?
You know
Like,
what? I have some. Hold on. I got this. I got this. I know what I must do.
ooh, Cirque du Magnifique. That's pretty.
Whoa.
Renegade, yeah, Renegade just suggested Cirque du Magnifique, which I think is really
I
pretty.
I rather like that.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Magnifique or freak?
My, huh?
Magnifique or freak with like what's well, you
Ooh.
know?
See, also my other thought was, like let's kind of bring it into kind of fantasy terms here, and let's say Cirque du Magique and say magic.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Because the whole point is to make it seem like these are all like, magic beings, right?
Yeah,
So Cirque de Magique.
but
Magnifreak is
ma
cool. Yeah. I love that.
but it should be spelled Mag. Hold on, you gotta spell it cute. You gotta spell it cute.
I
Hang
was
on.
thinking
M.
yeah, the way I'm spelling it is Magique.
Yeah,
So I put it in chat, and like the way it's spelled on
Cirque
there is
du
really Cirque du Magique is really really pretty.
Cirque du Magique.
Yeah,
Whoa,
Cirque du
not
Magique.
bad, not
That's
bad.
beautiful. I think that's really pretty. I love that. Yes. Okay. Cool. Well, we're at
Okay,
the 2 hour mark, and I think like we really locked in on some really cool shit here. Yeah.
not bad, guys. Not bad.
Yeah.
Good job, team. Good job,
We did
team.
it. If you want, I'll go ahead and do our little recap here and try and recap everything that
Yeah,
we created. Consolidate all of the tangents and all of the side roads that we went down into one cohesive idea, and then we'll find someone to raid and wrap it up for the night. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So, all right. Welcome to the fantastic Cirque du Magique, a fantastical circus show. Run by a mysterious ringleader, which Renegade did bring up. Do we have a name for the ringleader? I think for now we should just call him the mysterious ringleader. We would not have a name for him just yet. I'm giving JoJo an excuse to come back so we can do a sequel of this episode later. Uh,
Ooh,
Possibly. We don't know. Who knows? I don't know.
we should.
But welcome to the fantastical Cirque du Magique, an incredible circus show run by the mysterious ringleader, who is, in fact, actually magic in some way, or at least what we would describe as magic, or in some genres, has a super human ability of amplification. And he has not only that, but also the incredible, almost bardic, I guess, ability of gathering people to join in his show. Two of which including Vivian, aka the Pixie, a trapeze artist whose ability is almost defying physics in itself by shifting her and controlling her own center of gravity, even through these incredible like gymnastic trapeze acts. And he's able to amplify it and able to make it seem as if she is flying, and even add little tricks of the light to make it look as if she does have her own little pixie wings. And also, Ice Pick Steve, aka Trick Shot, uh, Hey, you chose it. I got him. I gotta
It's
include
so
it.
awesome. I don't care. It's
So
awesome.
good. Uh, AKA Trick Shot, who does have an uncanny ability of never missing his target. Regardless of what he's throwing, it could be knives, it could be ice picks, it could be whatever the fuck he's throwing. I don't know. I'm imagining you doing like an axe throwing show at some point too. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, which I've been axe throwing. It's a lot of fun. But I'm not as good as Trick Shot would be though. And of course, throughout this incredible show, not everything can go perfectly as we want it to. When one day the mysterious ringleader mysteriously goes missing. And who better to rally all of the misfits of Cirque du Magique than Trickshot himself and remind everybody that they are not as strong as their ringleader has amplified them to be, but as strong as they are, as the belief that they have within themselves. And I think this has been an awesome story. I'm already thinking of like little of what like doodle I'm gonna add to the overlay for this. I'm thinking it's gonna be some kind of like bullseye or target. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Nice.
but like
Nice.
I want to add like an element of Vivian to it too. So like literally like a target with like little pixie wings behind it, like little like
Yeah.
dragonfly wings or something. I think that'd be so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. This is great. Oh my gosh, Jojo, thank you so much for joining me this week. This is so much fun.
Yeah, this was fun. I'm glad we
Yeah.
got to do this, and we haven't been able to hang out in a little while, so I'm glad to see
Yeah.
you.
This is fully my excuse to be like, I miss my Castleton friends, so I'm gonna ask everybody to come and join my show so we can
Yeah,
have an excuse to just hang out and make silly little characters together for a couple hours.
I'm with it. I support it. I
It's
support it.
having so much fun. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try and find somebody to raid, but if you wanna go ahead and plug your shit, tell everybody who you are.
Oh, okay,
Where can people
sure.
find you on the internet,
For
Jojo?
those of us, so well, you can find me on the internet at JoJo Culturalist everywhere. I help out over at with actual plays and editing and production over at Apochromatic Unlimited on the internet, which is a BIPOC sort of TTRPG publishing platform where we try to get people to get their wings in the actual play space, so to speak, for marginalized voices. I'm also on Melanin Mythos, which is a BIPOC world building podcast, where you can get on all your podcasting sources, where we have folks on, we do interviews and build settings, kind of similar to this, but we dig into also things like the hero's journey and just kind of world building at large. Um, and I haven't posted about it yet, but um, I I there's going to be upcoming news. Uh, Apochromatic Unlimited is it got picked for the Kobold Creates 2025 uh, thing for Tales of the Valiant, and I'm a part of that. We're writing an adventure, and it's going to be a 3-part live stream. I'm going to post about it on the internet, but I hate the internet and I hate social media. But we got
We were talking about
accepted.
this a lot before stream, yeah.
Okay, okay. I hate it but so much, but I should speak it out loud, and I haven't posted about it. But we got there's a project coming. There's a project coming this summer with Kobold Press, and I'm really excited for it. And it's public, so I can talk about it now. So please
Yay.
check it out. Um, and that's me. I'm still alive.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Jojo. And it
Yeah.
looks like, speaking of all of our Castleton pals, it looks like Mare is live. So we're gonna go ahead and go raid Mare today. Oh, hello, Mare. You may have recognized her one from Castleton, or she was on my stream just a couple of weeks ago, where we made our soap opera in the gated community, Foxglove Estates. Because I was going through a weird Desperate Housewives phase when I saw a soap opera, which was super fun. But we're gonna go ahead and raid her. Let's go ahead. Do I remember how to do this? Yes, start raid. All right. And while that's getting ready to go, thank you guys. Thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you, One Renegade, Aurora, Werewolf, Jenna, Austin, everybody who showed up in chat and hang out with us. This was amazing. Come back next week. I do this every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The fact that I have not run out of ideas for stories in this is absolutely wild. But I'm having a great time. But also, if you can't wait another week, you can go and follow me on Not Quite Novelist on Instagram. I am trying to post more on there. Again, we were talking a lot about like having a hard time posting on the internet. I'm trying, but you know, it's hard. But
Yeah.
come and chat with me and like leave your own headcanons if you think about ideas for Cirque du Magique or any headcanons or ideas for any of the other episodes you've seen. Come and chat with me, please. I really want to hear all of these. But yeah, every Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I try and do a second stream on like Tuesdays, but you know, lately that hasn't really been happening, but hopefully I'll bring it back soon. I don't know. Until then, thank you everybody. Be nice, be chaotic, and be creative, and I'll see you next week. Bye!